Okay, what I like to do is use these. These are the 12-inch U-Brands Hexagon bulletin tiles. This is a 1.5-inch Hexagon honeycomb template from Heidi Swap. It ends up being a perfect fit when properly aligned. What you do now is hit it with a quick spritzing of hunter green. Then you end up with this. You can also use light and dark blue to paint water effects on them. Then just mark how deep they are with a Sharpie. Now because it's a bulletin tile cork, you can stick things into it for terrain features. For example, these are little corn guys, made a cornfield for the mechs to run through. Now this one here, I made Dr. Seuss truffula trees using toothpicks and bamboo skewers with little lines drawn on them with Sharpie. And then if you want, you can stick these types of trees in them. For the mountains, what I like to do is use all this scrap plywood that I got, 3/4 inch, 5 layers. Put the stencil over the top of it, hit it with a quick spritz of hunter green, and then you end up with something like this. What you do now is you cut out random shapes out of it with using either a scroll saw or a bandsaw. You got random shapes for days you can build all kinds of mountains out of. There's an added step you can do where you can put a thin coating of glue on these and then put them into sawdust and then paint them again, and it gives you a little bit of a texture. There's 2 ways you can do this. You can leave them separate where you can build various mountains out of them, or you can glue them all together and make them into a permanent structure you can put wherever. However, if you keep them separate, there is an advantage to doing all kinds of interesting little layouts. All kinds of fun terrain for the mechs to run around and fight between. Another added step where you can leave everything separate, or you can actually glue them to the tiles themselves. This makes it a little bit easier to throw out and just randomly select different hexes for different game boards. If you put them together and make like a mountaintop, this one's set up as 2 little mountains. Set things up where it's a little canyon you can run through and hide in if need be. You can also drill little holes to intersections and then insert little pieces of foliage you make. What you can also do is take these deciduous trees you get at Hobby Lobby and then glue them in little wooden hexagons. And that gives you these here. And then what you can do is just place them randomly wherever for a nice little forested effect. And all you do is just pick random hexes and assign them together to make a game board. I would recommend at least 7 hexes for a good 1v1 versus map. 9 hexes works pretty well for most situations. And then if you have the space for it, just make something super huge and epic. There's really no limit to how big the board can be aside from maybe the size of your table and what kind of a mission you're wanting to play. Different types of terrain features you can make. This is just a soup can that I cut in half and made it into kind of like a hangar Quonset hut. This statue of Alexander Kerensky was a miniature that came with a mech package. But yeah, that's how I do my Battletech terrain. Hope y'all enjoyed it and thanks for watching. Archer!